Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darwin, and with this camera portion with the background won't really match up because I'm re-recording this camera portion. But let's talk about warriors for the day. The first recording was a little bit jumbled and I ended up eating my words, so I want to redo that. So the class preview for warriors, what Blizzard is going to try to do is separate arms and fury. Currently right now the rotation is basically the same, the only alteration is Colossus Smash, which is applied for arms warriors in the cleave mechanic. But for Fury, you have Fury Rage sorta, but basically deal damage in the same manner. You have basically the same cooldowns, and I mean, whether you have Mortal Strike crits or Raging Blow crits, it doesn't really matter in playstyle. So what Blizzard is going to do is define them a little bit better, as well as work on the tank spec, and try to give a little bit more of a flavor, take out a lot of confusion, and give a little more depth to the actual specs. So let's take a look at them. The first one is Arms, and the flavor text reads, Arms warriors are patient in a fight, waiting to capitalize on moments when an opponent is left exposed, and that's basically how it's going to work. You are trying to wait until Colossus Smash is available, and then you're exposing a weakness of an enemy. That's basically how you fight, that's basically the way you deal damage with the mechanic. It's all about strong, precise strikes for Arms. So let's take a look at some of the changes. Mortal Strike is costing 20 rage now, I believe it currently costs maybe 10. Instant 6-second cooldown, vicious strike that deals physical damage, reduces effectiveness of healing effects on target for 10 seconds. Slam, 15 rage, melee, instant, slam an opponent causing moderate physical damage, basically your rage filter when you have too much rage. Colossus Smash, instant, 45-second cooldown. Smashes the enemy's armor, dealing massive physical damage and increasing damage dealt to them by 20% for 6 seconds. You open yourself a 6-second window in order to be able to get a Mortal Strike in, and a bunch of slams, as many as you can, in order to dish out damage. On top of it, Colossus Smash is also going to deal a lot of damage. Notice it's on a 45-second cooldown, it doesn't cost any rage. It's basically your primer as how you set up damage. A lot like what if you look at the, I guess all the changes, Red Paladins have a similar playstyle. The Judgment of target, and then whatever abilities that build up Holy Power, those deal a little bit extra damage, but for Arms, it's just all damage is just dealing extra damage. You have Executor 10 Rage, which can cast off to more, up to 30 Rage, consuming for more, with ability to deal more damage. Only usable on enemies with 20 or less health. That is still staying the same way for Arms. Tactician, Slam, Whirlwind, and Execute have a 20% chance per target hit. So if you AoE, to reset the cooldown of Smash. So Slam, Whirlwind, and Execute have a chance to give you Colossus Smash. Oh yeah, Colossus Smash again. So I believe warriors might want to actually stack haste, so you have more chances to get, more auto attack hits, to get more slams in there, for an opportunity to be able to unlock the ability again more often. Your mastery is Colossus Might, which works directly with Colossus Smash. Increases the damage of your Colossus Smash by 50% on its own, and increases damage taken by an additional 20 of the Colossus Smash buff that is applied. So that's about 70% damage taken for 6 seconds, and can go maybe up to 100. It's kind of insane. We'll see how Mastery builds on it. And to give you I guess a look on how some of the talents will affect it, you have Titanic Might, which is a passive, increases duration of Colossus Smash up to 200%, but halves its effectiveness, so you can get more hits in there, but the effectiveness of it, the damage and the damage afterwards, is going to be lessened. Then we have Fury. The Fury Warrior, I feel like, has been basically separated from ours pretty well. The flavor text reads, Brute Force becomes a breathtaking display when Fury Warriors relentlessly dive into the fray. And I mean, the changes for them are pretty cool. A lot of the changes go about in changing the way that they deal damage in terms of enrage, and how often they enrage and how they enrage basically. Here's some of the abilities. Bloodthirst, instant 4.5-second cooldown, attacks the target for generating 10 rage and heals you for 5% health. Bloodthirst has an additional 40% chance to be critical strike. Enrage can be procced off of Bloodthirst critical strikes or activating Berserker Rage, increasing attack speed by 100, so you generate more rage with attack speed, but also taking damage by 30%. And I'll get to that 30% increased damage at the end of the talking about Fury Warriors. Raging Blow, 10 rage, which isn't a lot really. Instant, a mighty blow with both weapons that deals a total of strong physical damage. Only usable when rage, but can be spammed as long as you're on rage, so you don't have Raging Blow charges anymore. Rampage, 50 energy, which is a lot. Melee range instant, unleash a series of 5 brutal strikes over 2 seconds for a total of massive physical damage. Rampage always deals damage as if you're enraged, so you don't have to be enraged for that, which will come to the enrage mechanic. Execute 30 rage at all times, so Arms has a bit more flexibility with it. Attempt to finish off a foe, causing a total of massive damage, only usable on enemies that have less than 20% health. And Mastery and Shackle Fury increases damage down while enraged by 28%. So it seems like while Arms is all about finding weakness in the enemy and then bursting down during that weakness, Fury Warrior is all about building rage, and once they enrage, they're basically a glass cannon. As you can see, most of their abilities say massive physical damage. That means I'm just expecting for them to be just smashing faces. So it's all about getting the enrages on, but once you have enrage up, enemies can deal as much damage to you, so it makes you more open, but you deal insane amounts of damage. So this might make it for a boring playstyle where you basically spam Bloodthirst, but also trying to cancel enrage, and you might have to force in active enrage with Berserk enrage, but that's just a thought process. So this might be a good thing or a bad thing for PvP. Ability like Rampage will allow you to dish out enrage damage without putting you in enrage. So it's going to be, it seems like it's going to be a mechanic to stay off of enrage to make sure you don't take the full potential damage. So it's kind of like a good thing, but also a drawback. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a glass cannon that takes a ton of damage, or just an annoying mechanic where you have to literally add a macro to cancel out enrage just so you take less damage. It might be good, it might be really freaking bad. Some of the talents to change on the playstyle of Fury: Frenzy, 15 rage, melee range instant. Furious slash at the target, dealing moderate physical damage and increasing your haste by 5% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. So as long as you have rage, you get haste, so you can have more rage because you're auto-attacking your enemies more often. And that's basically how it will be developing rage, both Fury and Arms is the auto-attack. So it seems like Fury is going to be all about getting that rage pretty freaking quickly. Alright, so let's talk about Prot and Protection. They're basically just trying to give it more flavor for the actual warrior tank and differentiate it from like a paladin tank. It's all about, for the Protection warrior, being the toughest soldier on the front means nothing if allies are left vulnerable to the enemy attack. And they basically want to go into that lore and that aspect of warrior and basically expand a bit more on it. There's a lot of offensive abilities that are basically the same. You have Devastate, Revenge, Deep Wounds, Thunderclap, Shield Slam, Heroic Strike, all exactly the same as they are. None of them take rage except for Heroic Strike, which is basically extra rage spender. But their defensive abilities are a bit different. You have Shield Block, 10 rage, which is really low. Instant, 12-second charge, 2 charges, raises shield block in every melee attack done against you, so 100% block chance. These blocks can be critical blocks. Shield Slam deals 30% additional damage while Shield Block is active. So more potential ability to deal extra damage on its own without getting a glyph or a talent for it. Ignore Pain, 40 rage, instant. You fight through the pain, ignore 90% of the next total damage you take from any source. So 25% of maximum health at least. So lots of damage reduction. So it's going to be an interesting mechanic. 40 rage can be used as often. I don't know how well it's going to work in PvP, but like a chaos ball flying at you that's about to wipe you out. Ignore Pain, you basically get yourself dispersed. I don't know how this is going to be for PvP, but for PvE, it'll be fun because you can kind of predict boss fights and boss attacks, so you can ignore a lot of the pain and basically maybe even ignore some of the mechanics. But at least this spec is different and unique from other tanks, let alone Prot Paladin. So PvE wise, it's awesome. I don't know how it's going to be for PvP. I'm trying to look at most of these specs from PvP perspective. Spell Reflection, instant 25-second cooldown, raises shield, reflecting spells cast on you, reducing magical damage taken by 30%, lasts 5 seconds or until the next spell is reflected. So PvP wise it's lame because it gets reflected, because any spell cast gets reflected. PvE wise, where you have bosses with magic attacks that you can't reflect, that's solid 30% magic damage reduction. Mastery, critical block, same deal, increase the chance to block by 10% and critical block by 30%, increase your attack power by 20%. Some of the talent choices that may change your playstyle, which is an interesting one. So here we go. Shield Discipline, passive. Shield Slam extends duration of shield block by 2 seconds, so it's great for PvE. Shield block increases damage of Shield Slam by an additional 30%. Offensive power, PvP viable maybe? I'm not quite sure. But so far this is it. Those are the changes for the warriors, and very simple basically. Nothing too crazy. I like the change from Arms and Fury, the separation a bit from the playstyle. One, just a Raging Berserker with some drawback, which is weird. But then there's Colossus Smash, the patient Arms. Again, a bit weird, but might make a little bit more of a depth of playstyle. And Prot, I don't know how that's going to be for PvP, but maybe it'll be viable. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think. I got one more class to do before I go for this shirt video. You guys are gonna notice some differences. And then tomorrow is Rogues, and I don't have class, so I'll be spending all day making that Rogue video. Let me know, guys, what you think about your warrior changes if you're playing a warrior. Hopefully you guys having a great day. My name is Dalaran. I'll see you guys in the next video.